Hello, everyone, and welcome to your yoga class. Today's class is a gentle, full bodied yoga class. Today we do Navasana, or boat pose. This pose not only engages all aspects of your core muscles without overworking them, it'll also strengthen the core muscles over time. But first, hello, my name is Vanessa, and I am a yoga therapist based in the San Francisco Bay Area. In this yoga series, we will always have a pose that we are working up to. And today, that pose is Navasana, boat pose. I'm going to jump outside, put down my mats, so meet me on the mat. You'll feel better in body, mind, and spirit. Come on. Now bringing your hands to heart center, pushing against palm to palm, and then placing your thumbs on your chest. We'll begin together with the sound of one Om. So inhale for Om. Om. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, reaching forward, coming in to a soft forward bend. So maybe your eyes are still lightly closed here. Maybe as we go through these first movements, begin to open your eyes slowly, bringing breath and movement into your body. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold again. Walking the hands up, interlacing the hands behind the back, and lifting up with the chest. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, looking up gently, and inhaling the arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Pushing up, interlacing the hands behind you, and squeezing your shoulder blades together. Inhaling the arms up this time, and exhaling to your right. Inhaling up, and exhale to the left. Inhaling the arms up, exhale to one side. Maybe looking up gently. Inhaling the arms up, and exhale to the other side. And inhaling both arms up, coming forward again, and drawing big circles with your hands and arms in front of you. Making this sweeping motion. Circle in one direction, lifting up tall as you come to the center. Trying to sync your breath with your movements. On an inhale up, we'll exhale to the other side. And coming to center, interlacing the hands behind the back one more time, and gently looking up. Coming back to center, inhaling both arms up. We'll come to a twist to the right, So placing your left hand on your right knee, inhaling the arms up, exhaling, twist to the other side. Inhaling the arms up, exhale, twist. Inhale the arms up, exhale, twist to the other side. And now placing both legs out in front of you, maybe gently rocking and really sitting up tall in your space. And flex and point the toes. And then being still for a moment, just taking our right foot and pointing the toes out to the right. And then bringing it back. Engaging the inner thigh to make this movement. Just be gentle. Take it easy. And then with the left foot, I noticed this week that one of my knees was hurting a little bit. So I want to take this time to show you how to take care of these spaces, these places where we sometimes need to give a little extra attention. So again, just making these movements with both legs and maybe making circles and just feeling how that feels in your legs as we engage the hamstrings or the inner thighs. Just taking it easy. And sitting up tall, inhaling both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Finding your hands on your shins, or maybe your ankles, or maybe taking your peace fingers and holding the big toe. And walking both hands back so that the fingers are facing the front of your mat, bending both legs, feet hips width apart, pushing up into crab. And then coming back down, legs out in front again, flexing the toes, sitting up tall, inhaling both arms up, exhale, forward fold. And then walking the hands back again, bending the knees, and coming into crab. We'll take the left foot out and bring in the right leg close to your body. And then looking out over your outstretched leg, flexing the toe, inhale the arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Walking the hands up, inhale the arms up, and exhale to the right for a twist. Sitting up tall again, inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold over that outstretched leg. And then placing your right hand behind you. So if your right knee's bent, your right hand on your right knee, and then the right hand behind you, and we're going to push up into Fallen Star. You can make big circles with your outstretched arm on the ceiling or in the sky, and then coming down gently one more time. Look out over the outstretched leg, flexing the foot, inhaling the arms in, exhale, forward fold. And then switching legs, doing the same thing on the other side. So finding your sit bones, sitting up tall, flexing the foot on your outstretched leg, and just slightly turning your body towards that leg. Inhale the arms up, exhale, forward fold. Now I notice each time for me that I do this, I get a little deeper, a little more warmed up. So inhaling the arms in, we're going to exhale, come to a twist. So taking the left hand onto the left knee, and then bringing that same hand behind you to come into the twist on the left side. And just remembering to breathe here. Always inhaling up through the spine. Exhaling, coming back down. Looking out over the outstretched leg, inhale both arms up, and exhale, forward fold. And just relaxing into this posture. Perhaps you find yourself getting a little deeper with each breath. You don't want to strain yourself. You just want to come to that edge. Nothing here should hurt. Walking both hands up. We're going to inhale the arms up. This time, taking that left hand directly behind you and then raising your hips into the sky. And with your right arm, making some big circles. And coming down. Let's come into Dandasana one more time. Staff pose, finding the sit bones, legs outstretched in front of you, toes pointing up towards your face. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And we'll stay here for a moment. Inhaling into the lower back. Again, this pose might be awkward, but it should not hurt. And then walking. Woo! Excuse me, it's one of the diving birds. walking the hands up, sitting up tall, we'll come into a kneeling position. Now, I always like to exercise, remember to stretch and take care of my ankles and my wrists. So while we sit here, let's lift one knee at a time gently, just to feel what movement we have in our ankles. And we'll just lift one knee at a time. If it feels good to hold one knee up for a while, do that. If you want to try both knees, or just alternating. And then sitting up so that we can tuck our toes and then sit back. So you could place our hands in prayer pose and place our hands between our knees and just gently look at the mat in front of you. So we let the soles of our feet here lengthen with this nice toe stretch. Whenever you're ready, please come out of this pose. I know that it's just about a minute before I really start to feel it's time to come out. So releasing gently, untucking the toes, and then just sitting back down in this kneeling posture. So coming to hands and knees, we'll do a couple cat and cows while we're here, because that's always really nice for the spine. So inhaling, actually, let's inhale into cat. So tilting the pelvic bone in towards your belly, dropping your chin, raising, arching your back. And that's an inhale. And then exhale, sticking out the tongue as we drop our bellies, looking up to the sky. You close your eyes and outstretch the mouth, letting your tongue out. So inhaling into cat and exhaling into cow. Inhaling into cat and exhaling into cow. And doing a few of these. Have fun with this. You're probably at home. Maybe you're with your family. Maybe you're by yourself. I don't really have anyone around at the moment, so I can make these funny faces. Inhaling into cat, and one more. And make some noise. And then taking any authentic movement that feels good here. And we're taking care of our spines. If you need to take care of your knees by maybe placing 2 mats down, maybe a blanket beneath the knees. Looking over right and left shoulders. Nice. And take the right foot out in front of us. And just begin to play here. Make a little movement. bending the knee, and then straightening the leg. And I am going to get on this thicker mat, because like I said, my knee is feeling tender this week. And then as you sit back, let's flex this foot so that the toes are facing up to our face. Leg is pretty straight, maybe with just a slight bend in the knee. And come into this half monkey pose. So you can maybe try to touch your forehead to your knee, or just look out in front of you at your toes. And then walking your hands forward and coming into this low lunge. Like this. So just sinking the hips towards the mat, but keeping the knee behind the toes. And then pushing back again into half monkey, flexing the foot. And then coming into that low lunge again. You can even bring your body up. You can lift your arms if you'd like, or just stay with both hands on the mat. And then push back into monkey one more time on this side. And into that low lunge again. And then we're going to place both hands down and come back into our tabletop. Maybe doing a few cat and cows again. And then sitting back for child's pose, reaching the arms out in front of you and relaxing your forehead on your mat. Maybe nodding no. Just relaxing wherever you are. And then coming back in through tabletop, taking the left foot this time and placing that out in front of you. And again, we'll just start with small movements, moving forward, moving back. And I'm adjusting here so that my knee does stay behind my toes. This protects the knee. Now this time, when I sit back, I'm going to flex my foot and come into half monkey. We'll pause here, take a round of breaths. And walking through to our low lunge. Maybe sitting up, dropping the hips towards the mat. And then walking back into half monkey again. Now, if you like, you take those peace fingers around the big toe. And releasing. We're going to walk into our low lunge one more time. And one more time, coming into monkey. Good. And then gently bringing that foot back to that starting position right here with our prayer pose hands between our legs. Or perhaps you want to come into child's pose. Child's pose can be with your hands in front of you or behind. Very nice. And we'll come down onto our backs for a long body stretch. So placing the hands all the way behind you, up over your head, interlacing the fingers, pointing the toes out long. You're trying to be as tall or as long as you can be. Maybe you're 7 feet. Maybe you're 10 feet. Probably not 10, but imagine that your toes are pointing towards one wall while your fingertips are pointing towards the other wall opposite. And we're going to come into Banana Asana. So lifting the top half of your body, gently taking your right hand and holding onto your left wrist, coming into a stretch. Inhaling in to your left rib cage. And then just to make that full banana image, take the left foot over the right ankle so that you're in a crescent moon. And inhale into the left rib cage. And we'll hold here, remembering to breathe. Gently inhaling into the left side. And then coming through center, finding the same pose on the opposite side. And then this time, inhaling in to the long stretch on your right side. And if you find that your arm starts to numb at the shoulder blades, that's perfectly normal. Just bring your arms down. Give your body, right, let the blood come back down. Otherwise, we'll hold here for a few more breaths. And coming up through center, let's sit up by hugging our knees to chest. Maybe making small circles with the knees. And rocking up, rocking back and forth. Or this is a playful practice too. We can have fun with this. Just letting ourselves feel good. And even stopping here every once in a while. This is your core holding you up. Oh, very good. So we'll come to our hands and knees again. our tabletop. And this time we'll push up, we'll tuck the toes, and push our hips up and come into downward facing dog. So go ahead and pedal your feet. Feeling our first downward dog. Keeping the breath moving and finding stillness, but keeping the breath moving. We're going to inhale the right leg up, coming into three-legged dog. And then exhale, bring that leg in front of you so that we sit down in pigeon. Now, I don't like to fully release in this pose, so I always keep my hip up a little. So if you have a blanket or a block, you can sort of tuck it in there underneath that hip. In this case, the right hip, because the right leg is out in front. And there, and that finds like a full support, so that this could be a restorative, although very deep posture. So keeping the right foot flexed, again, protecting the knee. And if it's in your practice, you can come down onto your elbows and keep Sphinx arms or prayer pose, hands, and remembering to breathe, always keeping your breath going. Inhaling in and up the spine, and exhaling, bring that energy back into your core. And sitting up tall, we'll push back into that three-legged dog again. You can bend the knee here, and open up if you can. And if it's in your practice, you can even come all the way over. Make sure everything's out of your way. Everything is not totally out of my way. So we'll meet back in downward facing dog. This time, inhale the left leg up. And then exhale, bring the left leg in front of you for pigeon. So again, I'm going to place something underneath my left hip so I can really come into a relaxing pose, although it's a deep stretch. So when you're set up and ready, just in your practice, coming down onto your elbows. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. So maybe You can gently relax your eyes, breathing in into the deep opening that's being created. And walking both hands up slowly. Tuck the back toes so that we can push back into three-legged dog again. And again, you can bend the knee, open the hip, and if it's in your practice, coming all the way over. And we'll meet in downward facing dog, pedaling both heels. And from here, we can push back into child's pose or run through a vinyasa. So coming into plank. You can touching the right fingers to the left shoulder, the left to the right, and lowering down slowly through a vinyasa, and then pushing back into child's pose. Sitting up tall again. Where are we on time? Let's do a couple core exercises. So remember when we were rocking back and forth, we can do that again. And then find that place where we can sit up tall and pause here. So maybe it looks like touching one toe down at a time, raising both arms up, palms up to the sky, finding this boat, maybe rowing your boat, finding that stillness, and then releasing and just sort of windshield wipering your legs. And we'll do that again. Finding our boat, maybe rowing our boat. And releasing and rocking back and forth. Now, one more pose I'd like to set up for before we go into Shavasana and end our class today. This is going to be plow. So, coming all the way down to our backs, slowly, 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 and taking both legs up into the sky. Point the toes towards your ceiling, flex the toes, the feet, make circles. And then with your hands pushed up, pushing your mat underneath your bum, we're going to start to bring our bums up and the feet behind us. So am I in a spot that you can see me? Then bring the toes all the way over to touch behind your head. Come into the plow. Now you can hold that pose, or you can place your hands underneath your hips and push up into a shoulder stand. And bringing the legs down slowly, placing both hands just sort of underneath the bottom of your back, keeping the legs out straight, lifting the chest up, placing the top of the head onto your mat. This is fish pose. And releasing. So one more time, coming on all the way down on our backs, and either doing plow or shoulder stand. And releasing. We'll come all the way down for our final pose, Shavasana, or corpse pose. So letting your legs be wide, toes dropping out to either side, placing both palms up and away from your body, taking up some space now in this stillness. And noticing where your breath is, noticing how your body feels. Maybe placing one hand on your belly, just beneath the belly, one hand on your heart. We'll hold here for another moment. And on your next inhalation, bringing some bigger movements into your body, maybe wiggling your toes, making circles with your feet, flexing and pointing, and just noticing how you feel. If there's anything else that you need, while we have these last couple minutes of total and complete self-care, Inhale the arms overhead, making a long stretch in your body and hugging your knees to your chest, rocking back and forth gently. And if you'd like to stay on your mat for a while, I invite you to do so, taking any last movements that feel good while you have this time. Otherwise, we'll meet in a tall seated position, finding our sit bones, lengthening the spine, relaxing the shoulders, dropping the chin. Taking one last pause. We'll end our practice together today with the sound of one Om. So again, please bring your palms together and hands to your heart, and we'll inhale for Om. May you always see beauty, may you always hear truth, and may you always know love. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. See you next week. Bye.